is far too much noise in the world. And what I mean by noise is I mean the chatter that's going on inside one's skull, where people are acting emotionally without being mindful of their own thinking. And we see this a lot on social media, where people act emotionally. Just look at the comment section of YouTube or Facebook or any of these platforms, and you see this uncenteredness with people. And this is in real life as well, but it's showcased mainly on social media because it's really given us an insight into the state of the mind within humanity. And it's in a very drastic state, if you ask me, because people are just tuning into this non-stop thinking, as Thich Nhat Hanh would say, and are not conscious of their own emotions and are just acting spontaneously from their own emotions, which is causing a lot of chaos and conflict in the world. And in Eastern spirituality, it's always about bringing the mind back to equanimity. It's about letting those thoughts and those emotions subside and acting very conscious in the present moment. I remember 10 years ago when Muji started YouTube, and he copped a lot of flack for not turning on the comment section on his YouTube channel. For good reason, obviously, because there's just too much noise out in the world. People are only spewing their own thoughts and feelings and emotions onto people without being present and thinking, and people generally just aren't nice to one another, which is very strange. And when I feel that there's too much noise into the world, I always think of the great temples and monasteries of the East. And today I wanted to take you guys to one of my favorite Zen temples in Australia, just south of Brisbane. Let's have a look. I'm just outside of my favorite Zen temple, the Chung Tian Temple, just south of Brisbane. And this is kind of equal with another temple I like in Australia, the Chung Tian Temple in New South Wales, just south of Wollongong. And they are both part of the Fo Guang Shan Buddhist order, which was created by Venerable Master Hsing Yun. And this order is focused on propagating the Dharma just for ordinary people as well. This is why it's called a humanistic Buddhism. It's for trying to promote the Dharma just for ordinary people as well, not just monastics. So Venerable Master Hsing Yun is an amazing man. He's about 91 now, and at the age of 70 his vision began to blur and his hands began to shake, but he was a master of one-stroke calligraphy, and he thought to himself that even though these things are starting to fail, I still have the opportunity to focus my mind and practice. And so he continued to practice one-stroke calligraphy very beautifully, and still does so until today. And so I really want to show you guys inside my favorite Zen temple in Australia, and I hope you enjoy the experience. Let's head inside. When you go through the gates of any monastery or ashram, it has a profound effect on anybody. It kind of reminds me of what Alan Watts once said when he said, "Come off it, Shiva. Stop pretending you're this person here with all of these problems," and so forth and so on. That's the feeling you get when you walk through the gate of a monastery or ashram. All of the noise bubbling around in your mind begins to cease, and you realize that, hey, geez, none of that was actually really me. It's like a coming home, a coming back into the heart, where the idea of subject-object split that we make within our mind begins to evaporate. Unfortunately, as you can see, there's a little bit of construction going on in here today. Can't escape the noise, I guess. Hey, it's only physical noise, it's not the noise that's going on inside here. So this is the first garden here. Beautiful, beautiful garden. And as you see behind me, directly behind me, there's the big bell, the blessing bell. Let's go and have a look at the bell. Yeah, I'm not gonna bash that thing, but I just wanted to show you that this blessing bell's very beautiful. It's a small one compared to ones in Japan and China, but still beautiful regardless. Next I'm going to take you into the Bodhisattva Hall, where there's a shrine to Avalokiteshvara. People probably commonly known Avalokiteshvara, which is a Sanskrit word, as Kuan Yin. So let's go and have a look inside the Bodhisattva Hall. I'm going to take you all in the meditation hall. Let's go in and have a look. Next I'm going to take you guys to the Temple Pagoda, as you see right here. And inside there is, in the center of the Temple Pagoda, there's a Amitabha Buddha. And this inside the pagoda is supposed to represent the pure land. So let's go inside and check it out. An important part of the Zen tradition is actually calligraphy, as Master Hsing Yun explains. And in the pagoda, they have this wonderful sutra calligraphy hall. It's a beautiful hall. Have a look around. So, just like Master Hsing Yun, I'm going to practice some calligraphy right now. Now the next place I'm going to take you all is the 18 Arhats garden. Now this is probably one of the older locations in the temple, but it's still quite beautiful and majestic. As you can see, look around, quite wonderful. Now for all of you who do not know who the Arhats are, the 18 Arhats as depicted in Mahayana Buddhism were the original followers of the historical Buddha, Gautama the Buddha, and these 18 Arhats all exhibit enlightened qualities that we all have, and they're a motley crew, that's for sure. They're an interesting bunch. The characteristics of the Arhats, if any of you have studied before, are very interesting, very charismatic. And there's one specific Arhat who I really enjoy. His name is Asita. Asita! Asita! Are you around here? Where are you? Here's Asita over here. Now you'll see why I love Asita. Hey Asita, how are you? You good? Oh, that's great. Now Asita is the long eyebrow Arhat, and Asita is the compassionate elder. The compassionate elder, and he is one of the Arhats who attained enlightenment. So many of you have probably seen a depiction of Asita in many places, and I even think maybe even Quentin Tarantino's Pai Mei in Kill Bill may have been designed based on Asita's look. If you remember, Pai Mei had the long eyebrows as well. So these are the 18 Arhats, and this is a beautiful part of the temple. I mean, I don't think you're allowed to walk up in the garden like this, but here I am. And this is another great place for contemplation and meditation. As you can see, I'm in the tea room where the practice of tea ceremony is practiced, or tea zen or tea chan, whatever you want to call it. There's plenty of wonderful books over here on Buddhism. So tea ceremony is very important in Zen, or tea chan or tea zen to be specific, is very important in Zen Buddhism. And there's also a wonderful picture of Venerable Master Hsing Yun here when he visited here. I don't know quite when he visited here last time, but it seems like a while ago, that photo. And yeah, this is just a very important part of the Zen tradition, is drinking tea. So bottoms up to you. This is the more traditional room to practice tea zen, as opposed to the room I just showed you. This is probably the more authentic room for tea ceremony, and it has a very beautiful setting, as you can see. It's been a wonderful day out here at Chung Tian Temple. Definitely one of my favorite places in Australia. Definitely my favorite Zen temple, along with Chung Tian Temple in New South Wales. Amazing place, amazing place. If you want to exit the noise of life. And I don't just mean the noise that we can hear, I mean the noise within your skull. It's good to come out to a place like this and contemplate and meditate on life. It's a very great experience. And it's important that we all, in some sense, visit these sorts of places, especially temples, monasteries, ashrams, because this gives us an opportunity to contemplate and reflect on our true nature, our Buddha nature. And so I always tell people it's important to leave your physical location. Usually we all live in urban environments where it's very noisy, so that can also have an effect on our energy systems a little bit with all that noise. But that's not the main thing. The main thing is all of our internal dialogue, the stories we tell ourselves. It's not so much what's going on out here, it's about what we have going on inside our skull. That is the problem, that causes all the problem in the world. That noise, that internal chatter within our skull. Keep in mind, another thing to think about, even if you don't live in an urban environment, you could live out in the wilderness, and that internal dialogue is still ramped right up, and you've got no peace and tranquility, even though your environment reflects peace and tranquility. So we need to keep that in mind also. That's why when you're in a place like India, you can see a mystic, a sadhu, in the middle of all of the hustle and bustle, and he's very peaceful and tranquil, and he's got a blissful smile on his face. Something for all of us to think about. And so to turn radio non-stop thinking down, as Thich Nhat Hanh poetically puts it, we need to spend time in temple, in monastery, in the ashram, and we need time to really dive deep within our mind, uproot the source of all of that chatter, turn the volume down on your mind, and then you can go back out into the world, and then you will be experiencing life from a more enlightened state that can only contribute to an enlightened world. So that's all of the opportunity that we all have, people. So I'm going to go back in and get some more hours on the meditation mat.
What is this stuff? Who wrote this book?
Wait! Enlightenment Now is my book. Alright, I'm coming, son.
Woo! Oh.
You know what I like more than material things? Knowledge. Wait up, I think I got an incoming call. Hello? Stupid damn hand phone. Bring, bring. What is that? Hello? You got through. Oh, bloody egomaniac. Hey. Lift your stupid log. Die. Die. Did you just say something to me? You said something to me. That's it. Gloves off, son. Gloves off. Boom. Awesome.